Wait, so how much are you making flying like in the Navy versus like in commercial airliners?
Uh, so you probably making when you get done with flight school, you get your flight bonus, you get all that stuff. You probably making close to 100,000 a year, and it's
Okay.
gonna go up, but not much. Like somewhere between 80 and 140, I would guess. Um, I'm not sure where they are with the aviation bonus. They used to have a big aviation bonus to try to keep you in a couple $100,000, if I remember right. Um, they're having the same problems right now that everybody else is having. 40%, 35% of the commercial airline force was forced to retire because they were all Vietnam pilots. So it's going to be the same problem. My understanding is there's going to be a shortage of pilots for the next 10 years at a
Yeah.
minimum. And there's a shortage in the military for pilots right now. So if there's a shortage now and it takes you 11 years to get out the military, you know dang well there's going to be a shortage in 15 years when it comes time to get out.
Yeah.
Now, I imagine there'll be a lot more automation in airplanes, but maybe not that much when it comes to passenger planes. But, I think personally, I think it's a great opportunity for a ton of people. Everybody ain't made to be a SEAL. Everybody can learn how to fly planes, for the most part. As long as you got the mental, as long as you smart up here and you can study and learn stuff, going to fly is awesome, man. It's hard. A lot of book work, a lot of memorizing stuff, but it's just a different animal than being a Navy SEAL.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you something. What are some other programs? You mentioned FAM Flight, I think it was.
Yeah,
You
fan
can
flight. So just Google
yeah,
flight school in your
flight
area,
school.
and it's like maybe $150 for a fan flight,
Okay.
familiarization flight.
So what if let's just run you through this scenario. What if I don't like it? Like I said, I'm pretty smart and I don't want to I feel like if I go enlisted in, the Marine Corps, the Navy, whatever, and like go special operations, I feel like I'm wasting, my intellect. And I feel like I should go and get a degree. What do you think
Absolutely,
about that?
absolutely, you should go get a degree. And
So
then
you think
you
either
know what
way
I'm
I
gonna
should go
tell
to
you. You go in
college?
the Army as an officer.
Yeah. The
Okay.
only the only thing I don't like about the Army, versus pretty much almost every other branch is they're not as water capable. And, I've grew up in a swimming pool, I've always been swimming. Swimming's my best thing.
So here's what I'm gonna tell you. There's dive teams in the Army Special Forces.
Okay.
They do the exact same job as the Navy SEALs. So here's what I'm gonna tell you. I wouldn't negate or swear by any part of the service because everybody's doing the same job for the most part. Subtle differences between Green Berets and Rangers, subtle differences between Green Berets and SEALs. CAG and Delta, in my opinion, are pretty much the same animal at this point. Although, the Navy's got a better capability coming out of the water, but I guarantee if you gave CAG a mission to come over the beach, they would kill it. So, like, you can't just say, oh, I don't like the Army because they don't swim. That's not the case.
Okay. I'll look into that.
And here's what I'm going to tell you. You've heard me say this before because I know you've been around a little bit, Christian. Like, don't try to figure out exactly what you want to do so much from a standpoint of like doing all this research and like watching all these videos, and try to figure out what you're best doing, right? Are you good at digging a ditch? Can you go outside and work for 14 hours to dig a ditch? If the answer is no, then you got to step back and say, okay, I need to use a little bit more of my intellect when I'm looking at this process. Let me go see if flying planes ain't better for me, right? In your case, you're really smart. Go to college, get an engineering degree. You might fall in love with submarines. You might go be a nuclear power officer, right? I was just talking to the Navy recruiter. They got that new POC program now where they pay you $3,500 a month to go to college after your sophomore or beginning your sophomore year, and then you go in a nuclear officer program. Like, you ain't going to use more brain. There ain't no job in America where you're going to use more brain power than being a nuclear submarine officer. And that's what I'm saying. Like there's a wide spectrum across the military. You know, there's grunts doing grunt work, ditch digging, and then there's rocket scientists flying submarines and running nuclear power plants up in the other corner, right? In the middle, you got Navy SEALs, they're a little bit of both. And you know, you got SWO officers that not too physical, but they got a lot of work to do. You got pilots, which get all the glitz and glamour. They fly a lot. They get this awesome stuff on their resume so that when they get out, they can go fly for the airlines. So focus on what you want to do or who you are more so than where you want to go service and then what you want to do in the service. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So
Because
for college,
you could go in the Marine Corps, right? Like I heard you say the Marine Corps, you could go in the Marine
yeah,
Corps and they'd be like, oh, you're going to be an intelligence officer. And you don't even get to do what you want to do. And so then you got to step back and be like, man, okay, I didn't think about that. That's why I like to control where I go. Like if I get in a pilot program, I'm going pilot. If I get in an 18 X-ray program, I'm going Green Beret. If I go in the Army as an officer, there's a big shortage of Army officers in special warfare or in special ops. I go do that.